Today, our topic is what the Stoics thought about love and relationships. The Stoics were ancient philosophers who believed in living a life of virtue, reason, and self-control. They taught that we should focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This idea applies to many areas of life, including love and relationships. The Stoics had a unique way of thinking about love, and their ideas can still help us today. Let's explore what they believed and how their wisdom can guide us in our own relationships. First, it's important to understand that the Stoics saw love as a natural and good part of life. They believed that humans are social creatures, and we are meant to connect with others. Love, in their view, is a way to build bonds with family, friends, and partners. However, the Stoics also warned that love can be dangerous if we are not careful. They thought that love could lead to pain and suffering if we become too attached, or if we expect too much from others. This is because we cannot control other people or how they feel about us. Stoics taught that we should love others, but we should not let our happiness depend entirely on them. One of the key ideas in Stoicism is the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. In relationships, we can control our own actions, thoughts, and feelings, but we cannot control how others act or feel. For example, we can choose to be kind, honest, and supportive in a relationship, but we cannot force someone else to love us or treat us well. The Stoics believe that if we focus too much on trying to control others, we will only create frustration and disappointment. Instead, we should focus on being the best version of ourselves and accept that we cannot control everything. The Stoics also believed in the importance of self-love. They thought that before we can truly love others, we must first learn to love ourselves. This does not mean being selfish or arrogant. Instead, it means understanding our own worth and taking care of our own needs. The Stoics taught that we should strive to be virtuous and live according to reason. When we do this, we become better people, and we are better able to love others in a healthy way. Self-love, in this sense, is about self-respect and self-improvement. It is about being strong and independent so that we do not rely too much on others for our happiness. Another important idea in Stoicism is the concept of impermanence. The Stoics believe that everything in life is temporary, including relationships. People change, circumstances change, and nothing lasts forever. This might sound sad, but the Stoics saw it as a reason to appreciate what we have while we have it. They taught that we should enjoy our relationships and be grateful for the people in our lives, but we should also be prepared for the possibility of loss. This does not mean we should avoid love or close ourselves off from others. Instead, it means we should love with open hearts, but also with the understanding that change is a natural part of life. The Stoics also had strong opinions about how we should handle conflict in relationships. They believed that anger and jealousy are destructive emotions that can harm both ourselves and our relationships. Instead of reacting with anger, the Stoics taught that we should respond with reason and patience. When we feel hurt or upset, we should take a moment to calm down and think about the situation logically. We should ask ourselves why we are feeling this way and what we can do to resolve the problem. The Stoics believe that by staying calm and rational, we can avoid unnecessary arguments and find better solutions. In addition to conflict, the Stoics also talked about the importance of forgiveness. They believe that everyone makes mistakes, and we should be willing to forgive others when they hurt us. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. Instead, it means letting go of anger and resentment so that we can move forward. The Stoics thought that holding on to grudges only harms us in the long run. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from negative emotions and create space for healing and growth. The Stoics also had advice about how to handle breakups or the end of a relationship. They believed that when a relationship ends, we should accept it with grace and dignity. We should not dwell on what went wrong or try to hold on to something that is no longer there. Instead, we should focus on learning from the experience and growing as individuals. The Stoics taught that every challenge in life is an opportunity to become stronger and wiser. A breakup, while painful, can be a chance to reflect on what we want and need in a relationship and to work on becoming better partners in the future. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, had a lot to say about love and relationships. He believed that we should approach love with humility and gratitude. He said that we should not take our loved ones for granted, but instead appreciate them every day. Epictetus also warned against becoming too dependent on others for our happiness. He thought that true happiness comes from within, and we should not rely on others to make us feel complete. This does not mean we should not care about others or enjoy their company. It simply means that we should not let our happiness depend entirely on someone else. Another Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, wrote about the importance of treating others with kindness and respect. He believed that we should always strive to be good to the people in our lives, even when they are difficult or frustrating. Marcus Aurelius thought that by being kind and understanding, we can build stronger and more meaningful relationships. He also believed that we should not judge others too harshly. Everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and we should try to see things from their perspective. Seneca, another famous Stoic, talked about the balance between love and freedom. He believed that love should not be possessive or controlling. Instead, it should be based on mutual respect and trust. Seneca thought that true love allows both partners to be themselves and to grow as individuals. He also believed that we should not be afraid of being alone. Being single, in his view, is not a bad thing. It can be a time to focus on ourselves and to prepare for future relationships. In conclusion, the Stoics had a lot of wisdom to offer about love and relationships. They believed that love is a natural and important part of life, but we should approach it with care and reason. We should focus on what we can control, such as our own actions and attitudes, and let go of what we cannot control, such as the feelings and actions of others. The Stoics taught us to love with open hearts, but also to be prepared for change and loss. They encouraged us to handle conflict with patience and forgiveness, and to treat others with kindness and respect. Above all, they reminded us that true happiness comes from within, and we should not rely too much on others for our sense of worth. By following these principles, we can build healthier and more fulfilling relationships, and live a life of virtue and peace.